Guys, let's bring in Aditi. Aditi's on board, and we're not going to talk Guardians with Aditi. I want to talk to you.
Aditi wanted to be a Yankee.
Oh, look at her. Look at her.
I did want to be a Yankee. Adam's got a great story. Guys, Jay, I just went on a golf course for the very first time in my life.
That's not true.
Don't take. I hope you held the club.
Well, I did. I didn't break any clubs, but I really want to know, why does anyone like this game?
Because it's hard.
Big facts.
Because it's hard.
Aditi,
oh my God, it's brutal.
Okay, those that don't appreciate the challenge,
it takes
walk
skill.
away after one swing when you throw your club in the woods.
Here's what my problem is. I want to feel like I'm getting better at something. Why is it like one day I'm nailing the ball perfectly and the next day I can't hit anything straight?
Just like life.
That's not
I felt like that too.
To get better.
I felt
but okay, so even baseball players, football players, they have days, baseball players go 5 for 5. The next day they go 0 for 4 and strike out. Does that mean they walk away?
Well, that's a skill.
No, but then they get to play again the next day. Or
And
at
same
least
with
they get
golf.
another at bat. I don't know. I'm not sure this
did you
is for
play
me.
18
I'm not
holes?
sure I have the mindset for this.
This is really the first time you've ever played the sport?
Yeah.
That's
It was the
mind-numbing.
fourth time I ever hit balls in my life, and I went out on a course for the first time.
What is
I don't
happening?
like sucking, Jay.
What is
I really don't like sucking.
I mean,
Can we put that up on the bottom of the screen? Aditi, I don't like sucking. No, that's not. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't mean it that way. Actually, don't do it that way.
I mean,
I don't like being bad at anything.
You're becoming very hoity-toity
I
here.
don't like being to be bad.
No, I get it. I
tennis,
get it.
golf.
It's hard.
What's next? You're going
I
to
love
play
tennis.
polo? I mean, what's
Love
happening
tennis.
here?
Don't feel bad, Aditi.
Tennis.
Listen, you didn't. If you held the club on your first swing and didn't throw it, you above
Did
me.
you see Tyvis
So
Not top 10 on SportsCenter.
it gets no worse than what I did.
Wait, I have another story for you. I tried another sport for the first time yesterday. I went fishing with Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
Oh. Well, that's not
That's not a sport. That's an activity.
I guess. Well, you don't think casting is a sport?
No,
Like, you don't-
look. It's an activity. Some will argue with me, but it's an activity. Anything
and
that you
it's
can
funny,
do
'cause
while
we
you're
had a
sitting on your ass and
conversation.
drinking beer is an activity.
Well, no, if there had been beers on the boat, it would have been a better endeavor. But
You're
there weren't
absolutely
beers
right.
on the boat. And, okay, so then we had this conversation about using worms versus using lures. And
Okay.
Kenny said it's more athletic to use the lure because you're kind of like shaking the rod. Whereas if you just have a worm, you just kind of hem the rod in there. So I thought that made sense, right?
I don't know.
I'm always.
I don't know about any of
I've
this.
never gone fishing in my life.
Wow.
Is this not where you wanted to go?
I used worms back when I was younger, and I
It
was
depends what you're
so.
fishing for. If you're fishing for walleye, you want a lure. If you're fishing,
Yeah, I guess
you
you got a point
it all
there.
depends on what you're
Tyvis,
going
you
for.
use
Did you
worms.
catch
Is
it?
that why your hands are so slippery when you golf? Is that is this why this happened?
Here it is, Aditi.
Don't look at it. Close your eyes.
You can't unsee this.
You know how. Listen, it was edited. Don't believe that. It was edited.
It was CGI.
And that's some nasty water over there, too.
Man,
And Aditi, that made it onto SportsCenter's Not Top 10. It was number 6. I thought it should have been higher.
I reached out to the guy. He said that the club is gone and it's never coming back.
It wasn't even his glove.
It was.
What happened? Were you
let me tell my story. So,
All right, I'm listening.
it was hot that day. It was very hot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hot today. It's
And
93 today.
I had no intentions on golfing at all. Like I said, I don't golf, so therefore there's no point in me golfing. But it was a celebrity event. It was for Nationwide Children's Hospital, and I'm for the kids. You know, who am I to rob these kids, right? So I would go out there. Guy pays $50. You take a shot, okay? So I said, all right, bet. I don't have a club, so he was like, you know what? You can use my club, and you can use my ball. I said, okay. All right, so I stepped back, get me a couple swings in, get my Tiger Woods on. Now, I seen Tiger do it just like this. Get a couple swings in. They like, Tyvis, it looks good. Just keep your eye on the ball. I said, all right, now it's game time, Aditi. Ain't no more practice. We in the thing now. This is serious. And I went to swing, and I didn't make contact with the ball. So when I didn't make contact, I didn't tighten my grip. I left it loose, and If you heard the sound behind it, I had a lot of wind behind that. So
and you broke branches with the.
Yeah, it was. So
way,
that's just what happened. You know.
I just got a text that apparently Tyvis, who says he's for the kids, made the kids go into the water to get the club. That's what the text I just got. That's what I'm hearing.
Bobby Carpenter said
for the
that.
kids. That's
Listen,
what he told me.
Bobby said he's gonna pay for the man's club because it's a Callaway club. It's Bobby's fault because I told him I didn't golf, but he wanted me to do it anyway. So Bobby should pay for
All
it.
right, so I've got two. One, Tyvis, you are now officially my favorite because I feel better about my morning. I did not do that.
You know.
Clearly, the morning is framed better. And number two, I can top that story. So I told you I went fishing yesterday with Kenny Pickett. I borrowed a fishing rod from my neighbor across the street. Kenny Pickett broke my neighbor's fishing rod.
What happened?
What the heck you pull out that water?
I'm about to say you
Well,
better
it was actually, so I cast the lure into a tree. I got like such a great stroke. It went like, woo, all the way into the tree.
Is there video of this?
Yeah, there is video.
You gotta post it so it can go on Not Top 10.
So anyway, so I say to Kenny, I'm like, oh, well, I should probably cut the line, right? And he goes, no, just give it a yank. But I'm a little bit nervous because it's not my rod, so I yank it softly. And he's like, no, Aditi, yank it harder. He takes it from me, he yanks it, and the rod snaps. So then I'm like, he just hands it to me. He goes, oh, sorry, it broke. What? No, I've never asked for an
Bull,
autograph
get your mind out of the
in my
gutter.
life.
Bull is crazy.
Yeah, so I
Give it a
I
yank.
keep doing it. And
You
I'm
now
not even
realize
doing
what you just said, right?
Y'all out here taking y'all
we
two.
like
y'all supposed to be friends, right?
Yeah.
You supposed to help her out, man.
Sorry, it was funny.
This is going to be our highest rated interview ever.
There's been a lot of double entendre in this interview so far.
I just felt like I should say pause a lot. Like,
Oh my God.
11:45 in the morning. Nobody, at least in this house, has been drinking yet, so I don't even know why we're going in that direction.
Because it's bull.
Bull.
And my mind always goes in the gutter. That's my MO.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Well, maybe we should move on to a safer topic.
Yeah,
Is there a safer
So
topic?
are the Browns getting a new stadium? How's about that?
Great
Look at that. Look at that. Look, right?
Attaboy, G-Boy.
We
No, I
save
want to know about
people here.
Kenny Pickett.
We don't want to hear about him. We want to hear about this new proposition for this $1 billion state-funded stadium, right?
No, but seriously, about Kenny Pickett.
I mean, all I know is what Brown spokesman Peter John Baptiste released right now. And you know what really helped when you want a new stadium is winning. I think that taxpayers and citizens and companies looking to slap their logo on the side of a big building, I think everybody feels better about that sort of thing when a team is winning and successful and generating a lot of positive coverage in some way. And I think the one thing going for the Browns right now is that they pack their stadium. There's a lot of fan loyalty right now, so it's not as if there's an argument to be made that no one's coming because the place is a dump. So maybe,
Gosh,
you
dump
know,
is kind of hard.
but I trust what Peter is saying, that reports, Peter John Baptiste, that reports about looking for a new site and things like that are false. I buy that. I believe that. And I think where the stadium is tremendous.
Aditi, he did admit that the team is commissioned to study to find the feasibility of a new stadium. So, I mean.
But I think that that's always important, right? You always want to sort of stay ahead of the game a little bit. And just because you commission a study doesn't mean that it's happening tomorrow.
I get it.
But I think it's sort of checking out the landscape, seeing what's going on. And I think if you're a smart business person, you're always doing that.
Yeah, look, the lease isn't up until 2028, I believe. So nothing's happening imminently.
Of course. And these things take time. It's not like in 2027 they could just sit here and say, okay, in 6 months we need a new plan. So I think that this is a fair process right now. But I also think that the whole process is helped if you're fielding a successful team.
Now, just a quick follow-up. You've been to pretty much all the stadiums probably in the National Football League. On a scale.
Not Vegas. I'm still waiting to go to Vegas. Can we get a UCSS field trip to Vegas?
That'd be awesome.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Nice.
What do you have as the top ranked stadiums as far as you look forward to going, and what are some stadiums that are kind of not really on your radar?
Oh, yeah. Not a fan of Washington. You know what? So you have to ask me like in a different way. As someone covering the game, I love the vagaries of the stadiums in the AFC North. And what I mean is that they're unpredictable. Like, I like natural weather. I like grass. I like crazy winds. I like the idea that you're not in a pristine, domed environment, because that affects the game and how you play. And I love that all 4 AFC North stadiums are on water. I just think that they're such, like picaresque, iconic images in some way. I like that. I thought SoFi was gorgeous for the Super Bowl. I don't know that I love the press box. I think the other question for me, it's like, do you like it as a fan? Do you like it in the press box? Do you like it in terms of the quality of the field itself? I never really liked going to Arrowhead, but I love I love how loud the fans are. I just kind of hate that it's like in the middle of a big parking lot. Like I wish there was something more around it. Yeah. I grew up a Giants fan. I don't really care for MetLife Stadium. I just don't think that, looking at it outside. I do like at MetLife how they have those big scoreboards in all 4 corners. So wherever you're sitting, you don't have to turn. Like if you're sitting in this end zone, you just kind of look up to that corner or that corner. I think that that's really smart. Here's a very, very unpopular take. I don't like Jerry's World. Like that just I think that scoreboard is so outsized. It's just distracting. Yeah,
it is not. It's not that bad.
I find myself watching the scoreboard instead of looking at the live action
and watching
on the field.
That's
and if you're going to do that, stay at home.
Yeah. Aditi, I'm curious for you. I know you got to go, but obviously you had that time with Kenny Pickett.
I got to go. You guys are knocking me off for Leroy. Like, let's get that straight, right?
We were told you have an 11:58 hard out.
6. I don't know.
They said you got a hard out.
Wait a second.
I was told that you were going long on the Guardians, so I had to sit here and wait while you talked about the Guardians.
We were out of control. That's a bad job out of us. That's a bad job out of us. But Kenny Pickett, is he going to be the starter, or is it going to definitely be Trubisky?
I think week 1, it's more likely that it is Trubisky. I think that the same way Andy Dalton started the season a year ago, and again, that's not a statement on the career Kenny Pickett will have. I just think that Trubisky right now is really, he's built a great rapport with his teammates. Not that Kenny won't, but Mitch has had a little bit of a head start. He's started in the league for a while. He's taking them all, really, of the first team reps. And I just think that they'd like to give a little ease in to Kenny. And, Kenny's as competitive as they come, but he lived this life. He lived it as a freshman at Pitt. And I will remind you, he was 4th on the depth chart at Pitt. Then he was 3rd. He finally got his very first start at the end of the season against number 2 ranked Miami and upset them.
Yeah.
So there's nothing horrible in sitting for a little while and learning. Just ask Aaron Rodgers, or just ask Patrick Mahomes, or just ask Eli Manning. I don't think it's a death knell if you sit for a little bit as a rookie.
It used to be the way, and now you
now
mentioned
it's rare.
You mentioned some recent guys that have actually, and they've all had success. Like I think it's wildly unfair, because usually if a quarterback is a first-round pick, he's usually going to a bad team, and so you're sticking him out there in a bad situation, and bad things happen. So Aditi, is it true or false?
That's something, just really quickly, Jay. That's something that I just said recently. Does David Carr have a different career if he isn't thrown in there right away behind that awful offensive line?
Tim Couch.
Does he just psychologically in a different place if he's totally
that's an extreme
destroyed?
situation. That's an extreme situation.
Well, but it happens, Bull. It happens. And Tim Couch too. Look what Tim Couch had to come into.
Right.
Tim Couch came into an expansion
But don't you think Rodgers and Mahomes would have been good either way? I'm not saying it's bad to sit necessarily.
See, you know what?
I don't know.
But I don't know, because
No,
some
but
of the quarterbacks that have.
Yeah, even Mahomes' dad said that Alex Smith, and sitting that first year learning under Alex Smith, did so much for his son's growth and development and readiness. I mean, look, and I use this example just on local radio earlier this week. Ben Roethlisberger was on the sideline in year 16 of his career. He destroyed that elbow, and so he spent the whole season on the sideline wearing a headset. And in year 16, he said that was so valuable. Just listening to how the plays were called in, what was processed, watching the field in a different way. He said that helped him in year 16. So you're a brand new rookie in the National Football League. Why is this a bad thing?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
How many quarterbacks have washed out of the league because they didn't have the opportunity to learn and watch and grow? They were put into a bad situation, and then it was all of a
Right,
sudden
but there's plenty,
bad pick
but there are
out of the
plenty
league.
of first-round picks
gone.
who did not play right away, and also, I don't think there's a direct. I don't know that we have a direct correlation where if you sit, you're definitely going to be more successful, or all teams would do that.
I don't think there's a direct correlation, but to Aditi's point, it's absolutely beneficial.
I think y'all all
It's
missing.
beneficial.
I think y'all missing the big picture. Don't trust quarterbacks that wear gloves.
Wow.
Did he wear gloves while fishing yesterday?
He did not, and he had no problem holding a fishing rod.
Just
and
saying.
You know what? Like, it's fine. He can hold
know
the
what they
football.
say
He
about
can hold the
quarterbacks with
football
small
all
hands?
I don't trust quarterbacks that wear gloves.
All right, guys, tell me why I said hi.
Wait, you want to leave? I thought you wanted to stay.
I mean, whatever Leroy says, Adam's going to turn. I just feel like I've already put my foot in my mouth way too much. See, there he is. He's ready.
Look at it.
You got a funny look on you.
You got the grin on.
I know. He's just like,
I don't
whatever.
know what you five have gotten yourself into.
Yeah.
But holy smokes.
Yeah.
All I know is never trust a quarterback that uses gloves. Man, come on. Clearly, you've never thrown a football when it's 5 degrees.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Listen.
I'm
You
just
know
saying.
what? You
It's
know
like-
what? You know what happens? You put a glove on the opposite hand, but you still keep the one free. That's why you wear the thing. You wear the little pouch.
The warming pouch.
Aditi has to
The
run.
fanny pack?
Aditi, we'll see you
The
tomorrow.
fanny pack.
Leroy,
Oh, it's a
do you have a
fanny pack. It's
blanket?
a fanny
Are you
pack.
on a blanket?